Verstappen directs blame to FIA after Russell incident. Mercedes is upset at Verstappen and Lewis reveals retirement plans as Ferrari struggles continue. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Max Verstappen is raising concerns about Formula One's current racing standards following a dramatic Spanish Grand Prix. The reigning four-time world champion shared his thoughts after what can only be described as a tumultuous race, pointing out that the existing guidelines on acceptable racing are not natural. Verstappen's frustrations stem from the chaotic moments he experienced on track, particularly during his encounters with Charles Leclerc and George Russell. As the race unfolded, Verstappen was attempting a three-stop strategy, poised to finish behind the McLaren duo of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. However, a late safety car changed everything, giving him a chance to pit alongside the frontrunners. The drama escalated when Verstappen returned to the track with hard tires, while his competitors were on softer compounds. This ultimately affected his performance in the closing laps, making the battle even more intense. Heading onto the main straight, Verstappen lost some grip, creating an opportunity for Leclerc, who managed to pass him after some contact. Not long after, Russell also attempted to overtake Verstappen, resulting in further on-track collisions that saw Verstappen forced into the runoff area, yet still managing to maintain his position. The contentious issues didn't end there. Verstappen's race engineer instructed him to give his position to Russell, leading to a tense moment at Turn 5, where Verstappen seemingly complied but then collided with Russell's Mercedes. Fortunately, both drivers were able to continue, but the incident caught the attention of the stewards. While no penalties were issued for the earlier incidents, Verstappen was handed a 10-second penalty for the collision with Russell, which ultimately dropped him to 10th place in the final standings and resulted in additional penalty points on his super license. Post-race, Verstappen expressed his dissatisfaction with the guidelines that govern racing conduct in Formula One, emphasizing that they do not reflect the true spirit of competition. The stakes are high in the world of Formula One, and with tensions rising, there's a pressing question: how will the sport adapt? Will changes to the racing standards be implemented, or will Verstappen's concerns fall on deaf ears? The fans and participants alike are watching the developments closely, eager to see how the governing body of the series responds to such valid complaints from one of its biggest stars. Max Verstappen recently expressed his frustrations following a challenging performance at the Spanish Grand Prix. He noted that the safety car's timing was unfortunate, saying, "Unfortunately, that safety car just came at the wrong time. But that's also part of racing." During the race, Verstappen struggled on hard tires, which couldn't keep pace with the soft tires of his rivals. "I had a big moment in the last corner," he explained, illustrating the difficulties he faced on track. The situation escalated when he felt he didn't receive fair racing standards during the race. "The biggest issue we have is just that the racing standards are not very natural, and that is quite frustrating." After the race, Verstappen's championship position took a hit, as he is now 49 points behind leader Oscar Piastri, who secured his 5th win of the season. Verstappen's statements reflect a broader concern about consistency and fairness in racing. In other news, George Russell reported damages from his collision with Verstappen, illustrating the chaotic nature of the race. This event also puts Verstappen in a precarious position, just one penalty point away from a race ban, highlighting the high stakes in Formula One today. As the dust settles, the racing world is eager to see how Verstappen will navigate these challenges in the coming races. With tensions high and fierce competition, every point counts as they all strive for the ultimate prize, the championship. Stay tuned for more updates and insights from the world of Formula One. Lewis Hamilton recently referred to his performance at the Spanish Grand Prix as his worst race. After what can only be described as a rocky weekend, Hamilton faced a tense interview with Sky F1's Rachel Brooks. During this interaction, he expressed his frustration, asking, "What do you want me to say?" Hamilton did show some promise at the Spanish Grand Prix, managing to outqualify his teammate Charles Leclerc for only the 2nd time. He even noted his satisfaction with his qualifying position, stating, P5 in quali shows the progress we've made and anticipated a strong run for a podium finish. However, the race took a disappointing turn as he finished 6th, ultimately losing a position to Nico Hülkenberg's Sauber late in the contest. After learning about his disappointing position from his race engineer, Hamilton couldn't hide his frustration. He responded with disbelief, saying, "Unbelieve, guys. There's something wrong with this car, mate. It's the worst it's ever been." The disappointment was palpable when he interacted with the media, highlighting just how low his spirits were. Reflecting on the day, Hamilton shared, "It was just not a great day." Although he acknowledged that the team executed a good strategy, he concluded with a shake of his head, expressing his discontent. Brooks remarked that it was hard to see him in this mood, but Hamilton retorted, "What do you want me to say?" He candidly revealed, "I just had a really bad day, and I've got nothing to say." This honesty could resonate with fans who appreciate the rawness of his emotions. Further into the conversation, Hamilton stated that the lack of pace was probably just me, indicating a personal reflection on his performance. While some fans criticized his interview demeanor, others understood the pressure drivers face and the need to communicate even in challenging moments. Adding a layer of context, David Croft, a colleague of Brooks, shared on the podcast The Fast and the Curious that Hamilton apologized after their interview, admitting he was just so down at that moment. Croft noted, "Hamilton was really down on himself, and no one likes to see that." No matter the circumstances, fans and observers recognize Hamilton's greatness as a racing driver and the emotional challenges that come with the high-stakes world of Formula One. In experiencing this emotional roller coaster, Hamilton's journey serves as a reminder of the intense pressures athletes face and the importance of communication, even when that means admitting to a tough day. Statistically, Lewis Hamilton is hailed as one of the greatest in Formula One. But beyond numbers, it is his passion and vulnerability that resonate with fans. He genuinely wears his heart on his sleeve, which only amplifies his connection with the audience. In a candid moment, Hamilton apologized to journalist Rachel Brooks for appearing downcast, expressing, "I'm really sorry about that. I'm just so down." This wasn't just a fleeting moment of frustration. It highlighted the mental challenges athletes endure, particularly right after a race when emotions are heightened. After his performance during the race, questions surrounded Hamilton's effectiveness behind the wheel. How could he be overtaken by Nico Hülkenberg in a Ferrari-powered Sauber? It inevitably leads to doubts. Is it me? Am I doing something wrong? It's tough when the car's performance doesn't match expectations. Ferrari's team principal, Fred Vasseur, shed light on the situation, revealing that Hamilton's car had issues exacerbating his struggles in the final stint of the race. Vasseur defended Hamilton, noting he was much ahead of his teammate George Russell for the majority of the race. While the end result may not reflect it, the driver maintained his ground for 45 laps before encountering a significant setback. Though currently sitting P6 in the Drivers' Championship and trailing Charles Leclerc, Hamilton's fighting spirit remains intact. No matter the challenges he faces on the track, his determination to compete at the highest level inspires fans worldwide. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the fascinating dynamics of Formula One and the extraordinary individuals who keep us on the edge of our seats. Max Verstappen and George Russell. What happened on the track left fans buzzing, but what was the real impact on Russell's Mercedes? Let's break it down. It all began when Max Verstappen and George Russell collided during the race. Russell quickly reported over team radio that he had sustained damage from the encounter. But what did that really mean for his car in future races? After some investigation, the Mercedes team concluded that the damage was minimal. They described it as little more than a rash on the W16, indicating that it would not have any implications for their performance in the upcoming Canadian Grand Prix. This news had to be a relief for Mercedes and Russell, who were eager to keep their focus on the championship. The collision occurred during a critical moment late in the race when both drivers were fighting for position. It all kicked off at Turn 1, just after the safety car had returned to the pits. Russell attempted to thread the needle and overtake Verstappen as he pursued a spot in P4. but a nudge from Verstappen sent him into a runoff area. Despite the slight setback, Verstappen managed to come back onto the track still ahead of Russell. However, it wasn't long before Red Bull instructed Verstappen to relinquish the position, leading to further tensions on the track. He looked like he might comply, easing off as they approached turn 5, but at the last moment he accelerated and collided with Russell, who was trying to pass him on the outside. Both drivers carried on racing, but Verstappen was handed a 10-second penalty as a result of the incident, ultimately finishing in a disappointing P10. After the race, George Russell communicated his concerns over the damage sustained from the incident. During a post-race debrief, Mercedes technical director James Allison was asked about the extent of the damage. He clarified that while they did feel some impact, it was far from severe. In his words, it was just a little bit of rash from bumping into the other car, and they were confident it wouldn't affect their performance moving forward. This clash at the Spanish Grand Prix has added another layer of tension to the rivalry between Verstappen and Russell, both of whom are vying for excellence on the Formula One circuit. As we move toward the Canadian Grand Prix, it will be interesting to see how both drivers respond. Stay tuned, as we're only getting started with the action in the F1 2025 season. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like and subscribe for more thrilling motorsport content. Max Verstappen has recently found himself in a precarious situation, having amassed 11 points on his FIA Super license. One more infraction could push him into a one-race ban territory, and he certainly felt the pressure during the Spanish Grand Prix. After the race, Verstappen reflected on the excitement of their strategy, which went off course due to a late safety car deployment. Our tire choice to the end and some moves after the safety car restart fueled my frustration, he admitted. This moment of impatience led him to make a rash move that he acknowledged should never have happened. Emotions run high in motorsport, and Verstappen emphasized that he always gives his all for the team. "You win some together, you lose some together," he summarized. In Barcelona, Verstappen's struggle led him to a disappointing P10, putting him substantially behind the Drivers' Championship leader Oscar Piastri, who claimed his 5th win of the season. It's clear how costly this result was for Verstappen's title hopes. In light of his recent performance, he did not mince words when discussing the need for clearer racing standards in Formula One. "What is allowed, what isn't, is not very natural, and that is quite frustrating," he stated. His call for more defined regulations reflects an ongoing discussion about the clarity within F1 rules, especially when emotions and competitive pressures peak. Helmut Marko, a key figure in Verstappen's camp, voiced his concerns over any potential misjudgment that led to this meltdown during the race. "I don't know what kind of misjudgment or thought process was going on inside him," Marko remarked, hinting at the internal ramifications of Verstappen's actions. Looking ahead to the next race in Montreal, the stakes are high. With Verstappen teetering on the edge of a race ban, it remains to be seen how he will navigate the remainder of the season amid mounting pressure. Stay tuned as we keep an eye on Verstappen's journey and the unfolding drama of the F1 season. Let's see if he can bounce back and surpass these challenges on the racetrack. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more exciting F1 updates. In the world of Formula One, decisions can shift in the blink of an eye, and one name creating buzz is Yuki Tsunoda. Recently, Red Bull Racing Team principal Christian Horner was put on the spot about Tsunoda's future with the team. His response? A firm, "I don't want to answer it." That's right, he's keeping all options open regarding Tsunoda's position in the RB21 as the season looms toward its finale at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The uncertainty surrounding Tsunoda isn't just speculation. It's rooted in Red Bull's recent moves and performance dynamics. In December, the team promoted Liam Lawson to the senior lineup, despite his short stint of just 11 Grands Prix as a substitute driver. This decision blurred the lines further for Tsunoda, who continues to prove he's not guaranteed a spot as the season wraps up. As we analyze whether Tsunoda can finish the season with Red Bull, it becomes crucial to look at recent races. Only 2 outings into the current season, Lawson was dropped back into the junior ranks, struggling with confidence initially and failing to break into the top 10. In contrast, Tsunoda brought a wealth of experience to the RB21, quickly making headlines with significant achievements, including his first Q2 appearance, Q1 advancement, and even clutching points on the board. However, despite Tsunoda's promising start, the numbers tell a different story. He's only managed to score 7 points. His early momentum seemed to hit a wall recently, as the last 3 races saw him falter. Disturbing results included failing to qualify for the pole position shootout and even a disheartening P20 finish on the grid during a couple of races. Still, it's not all grim for Tsunoda. Helmut Marko, Red Bull's motorsport advisor, chimed in, suggesting that there are underlying factors at play for Tsunoda's struggles. In an interview with the Italian edition of Motorsport.com, he pointed out that the team often encounters challenges with their cars on Fridays, leading to significant setup changes before qualifying. Marko noted, Max adapts immediately, while Yuki would need a few laps to gain confidence, but if you're already in qualifying, there's no time to adapt. He also clarified that Tsunoda faced technical challenges in Barcelona due to the aftermath of a serious incident in Imola. The situation puts Tsunoda at a crossroads, with his future in Red Bull dependent on overcoming these recent hurdles. As the racing season presses forward, fans remain eager to see how things unfold for Yuki Tsunoda and his standing with Red Bull. Will he rise to the occasion? Only time will tell. Stay tuned as we follow this gripping saga in the world of Formula One. Max Verstappen experienced a tough outing at the recent Spanish Grand Prix, impacting his championship aspirations. His performance sparked conversations across the paddock regarding the challenges that lie ahead. Helmut Marko expressed his confusion over Verstappen's misjudgments during the race, emphasizing the unpredictability of his decisions. Christian Horner didn't hold back, dismissing Ralf Schumacher's theories surrounding Verstappen's actions as the biggest nonsense possible. In the thrilling final laps, Verstappen found himself in a notable clash with George Russell, igniting discussions about the potential repercussions, including the possibility of penalty points. This situation has placed Verstappen alarmingly close to facing a race ban. As the F1 season progresses, eyes are also on the talented rookie Isaac Hadjar, who has shown promise at racing bulls, consistently placing in the top 10. Meanwhile, Yuki Tsunoda remains a crucial focus for Red Bull. Despite his struggles, including a P12 finish at Barcelona, Horner believes in Tsunoda's potential and the importance of giving him the time and confidence needed to excel. Both seasoned veterans and exciting newcomers will be in the spotlight as the season unfolds. With intriguing developments happening every race weekend, the stakes are continuously rising. It's an electrifying time for fans as we navigate through the drama and triumphs within the world of Formula One.